So these are dry. They turned out pretty nice. They're ready to go on the truck. I gotta sand some of this right here so I could grease it up. I just put some of the grease in here instead. I'll put it in the tailgate instead. So the hinges work really good. What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna have to cut the bottom edge of this right here. As you can see, the bottom here is the bottom touches on there, so I'm gonna have to cut that off. So when the hinge is down, it's hitting right here. So I'm gonna have to grind this lower area, and then we're good. Now it doesn't bind on that at all, and it's really smooth. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut these because they're too long. Then I'm gonna be able to tighten them. Okay. So these are the locks that I'm using. Kind of cool. I just got to make sure that it's snug on here because I don't want it to back out. It twists out. Maybe I'll do it right there. I would like to work on the panel that sits under the tailgate right here. I forgot what it's called, but I have one. I have it right here. It's pretty rough. I'm gonna have to cut some of this off. But the front of it is a little mangled. It's a little, see how it's got some damage and stuff. I'm gonna have to hammer that out. I'm also gonna have to shorten it, narrow it. To narrow it about, it looks like what, 3 inches? So this piece right here, I'm gonna have to narrow it right here. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut off about, it looks like I gotta cut about 4 inches off of here. Well, first I'm gonna try to hammer. I'm gonna try to hammer this out, make it flat again, and then I'm gonna have to hammer and dolly this edge a little bit so it can look better. And also, like I said earlier, I'm gonna have to cut all this nasty stuff off of here. We don't need that edge anyways, but we're gonna cut this off, hammer this, and cut like 2 inches off of each side. And I have an idea how we're gonna attach it to here, but also we gotta cut the bottom of these. This is, I know right now it's touching the ground because on the F100 the bed was way taller, and I'm shortening it quite a bit. The only thing is that I want to be able to use this panel, so I'm just going to cut it as far as this goes. So we're just going to cut it about there, about that height under here. Because we also got to make sure that we can fit the brackets for the rear bumper. Whatever we got to do under here to make the rear bumper work, we're gonna do. So I put it flat on the ground, and you can see how off it is. It's gotta come down a whole lot. So this top edge is so bad. I don't know if you guys can tell from there, but so I'm gonna have to cut this rusty edge off, and then I'm gonna have to hammer on this, try to get it as flat as I can. Cut it. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off right now, so I don't have to worry about like straightening the metal and on the edges, because that's gonna be gone. So I'm gonna start cutting that off right now. I'm not sure if it's gonna make it easier, but like I said, we don't need those corners, so we're gonna try to fit it in there right away, and let's see. It almost fits. Idea here. You guys let me know what you think. If you think I should bring the bottom up a little bit, like an inch or something. I don't know if it's too much. I actually like that it hangs down there, because usually these trucks have a big gap between the bumper and the tailgate. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to remove. If I do remove any, but this is what I had planned here. So I'm gonna drill. I'm just want to drill 2 holes here and have some carriage bolts. 1, 2, and what I'm gonna end up doing is I got angle iron that I'm gonna weld. I'm gonna weld in there, onto the sides right here. Drill the holes. Put the carriage bolts here. Obviously, I'm gonna end up cutting the bottom of these stakes. So they're gonna be where if I decide to cut an inch off of here, then that's how high I'm gonna cut. That's how much I'm gonna cut here. But I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think. So yeah, we got these locks for the tailgate, and it hinges really well. I'm not done with that bottom tail piece. I'm gonna have to hammer a whole bunch on the top, and then and I gotta weld this hole right here. And this edge is really messed up, so I'm gonna have to turn it, hammer all this. But it came with the tailgate. I mean, it came with the bed sides, and it's I like it. It looks really cool on there. So we're gonna use as much as we can from this bed. So that's the wood that I want to use. There's a gap. I got to figure out, like I said before, I don't know if I'm going to put a bigger one in the center and replace one, or just, I'm not sure. I really wanted to use some old wood, some old beat up, like some of these chunks are missing. I just love how that looks. But yeah, that will be all for this video, and we'll be back as soon as possible. And I'm gonna be welding that piece onto here, or welding the angle iron so I could bolt these on. That we're gonna work on that next, and then I will start working on the bed, which is not gonna be that low. It's actually gonna be up to here, like I told you guys. Let's see. This is Lighting Machine Garage. I'm Miguel Cruz. Thank you all for watching.